Man, did I miss you guys. Today we will talk why The Walking Dead is a masterpiece, and I will start right away. But I will tell you, the last 2 weeks I was working constantly on stuff. Today I have to do a cover again for a cool band. But yeah, the last calendar, I think, has turned out fine. As you can see here, I will do an Indiegogo and Kickstarter campaign. I guess I do the Indiegogo for the comic The Last Pickup Artist issue 2. And this month I was putting on Sophie Tucker and the Terminator and Sarah Connor. I didn't draw her really well, but I will finish her up. And as you can see, my new muscular self, Dario Y, kid millionaire, making comics, card games, being a singer, guitarist, a lover, father, and king, and a predator wants to hunt me down. But now we will talk about why The Walking Dead is a masterpiece, and it doesn't matter what format you have. While I got here at the end of book 5, I have to say I was pretty intrigued by the covers, and when you get like a format like this, what is this? Like this one is how do you call this? The compendium or something like this. This is hardcover, and it is bigger than this one, and we'll talk about the sizes and everything. But we will talk why this is a masterpiece. And I always was hesitant because like the writing wasn't as good and the drawing wasn't as good. But finally I soaked up enough Walking Dead to tell you it's a freaking masterpiece. And I will tell you why. It's not that I say something and then I cannot back it up. This is the point. You want to click away. Don't click away. Because lately I'm watching this guru and he talks a lot, but he says very little. And then this guy talks a lot about analyzing a film and how he's also intelligent and understands everything about obsession and this filmmaker. And I don't want to take their authority away, but sometimes they talk a lot and they think they know, but they haven't seen life as I don't want to say, but sometimes you have to die a little to know life. And I don't know why, but Robert Kirkman knows how to write and he understands story. And I'm all over the place. I'm a bit excited, so excuse me. But I'm kind of intrigued, like, this is cool, having a fat book or having a book like this and reading it back to back, like binging it. But man, like imagine every week or every month, like getting a back paper issue and having cool covers like this. And I mean, look at this, like this is amazing. I'm sure you can do better, but it's definitely, and as you can see, like the covers are also pretty economic, like not super fancy, but they do definitely this one's amazing with the car running through the herd. This one's amazing. And yeah, The Walking Dead. Let's get to it. Why is this a masterpiece? So the first time I got it, this is a hardcover book by CrossCult, and I was reading it and I did a bunch of reviews, and this is A5. It's pretty small, and here it's Tony Moore drawing, and I love the Tony Moore drawings. I love the characterizations. I love what happens in the first few episodes with the Laurie stuff, with Shane, with how they get guns from the city, and it's beautiful. It's totally cool, and it won me over. And then I have issue 2 or a thick book like this, but then I got myself these ones, like the English books, and I have to say a bit bigger, and not that the drawings are so not that there are details that you need them to be bigger, but it's just for reading comfort to have like an American sized how do you say, like comic format, and that's really cool. And already every one of these books hit home a great point. Like Robert Kirkman has definitely a sensibility to telling stories, and I will show you in a second. I ranted for 5 minutes, but yeah, this one's even bigger, the paper even nicer. I don't recommend any one of these. I wouldn't recommend a smaller issue. If you can get them colored, get them colored. They looked amazing. So if I can get myself some deluxe, I might get myself some deluxe editions. The black and white is also pretty fine because it is depressing. Oops. It is a depressing. It is a depressing. I want to call it a show. It's almost like a TV show, but it's sometimes it's really heartbreaking what's going on here, and so it's fine with me. The black and white is pretty moody, but I saw it in color and it's also really cool. And so story-wise, this plays after the prison arc. The prison is destroyed, and they're on the move again, and Rick and Carl are trying to survive on their own, and Rick is ill. Let me try to get this a bit deeper. And Rick is ill, and so Carl is facing fears and all of that stuff, and he's just a kid. I mean, let me see if I can do this a bit better. I'm sorry for the setup. This works a bit better. And I know sometimes CharlieAdlard's drawings are not the prettiest, but he's really effective. And sometimes he shines, sometimes he doesn't. But everything comes together because, like, they're barely surviving stuff. And then sometimes they talk about mundane things, like how Carl enjoys now reading, because, like, that's fun. And they talk about beans and eating beans and scavenging, and this makes the story very realistic. It's grounded in its own world. Like, you're never taken out of this world. It's always very grounded, and the art style definitely does this, but also the writing. Let me get to something interesting. Well, Rick is definitely losing a bit of his mind, and but there are beautiful combinations of drawings like this. Sometimes they pack up and they go back on the street, and this was funny. Rick teaches Carl how to drive, and normal stuff that, like, parents would teach their kids in a post-apocalyptic world, and that's pretty funny. That grounds it. And lately, like, they meet again up with Michonne, and I will show you. Oh, here gruesome stuff will happen. Rambling all about, but the beauty of the writing and the beauty of the story is that like, I love Abraham, I love the characters. Sometimes you're not rooting for the people, but here it's like family. You're spending so much time with these people, and they have so distinct characters. Like, Rick always acts like Rick, and Abraham gets his characterization. And this is where the beauty of the story comes now in. They're again on the run, they're trying to move, and Eugene meets up with them, and Abraham is really bullheaded, and so is Rick, and so they are butting against each other and threatening each other, and then they go on a run to collect guns, and it's just Rick, Carl, and Abraham. And on that run, something pretty shocking happens. Like here, some people, I don't want to spoil it, but I didn't see it coming, but I noticed from the TV show. And so they bond together, and after this gruesome experience, Rick and Abraham have not only shared a pretty sick experience together, they have also mastered it together, and then they bond because like Abraham was a father and had a wife and lost them, and Rick goes through the same thing. So it's pretty beautiful how the story unfolds. It takes its time, and although sometimes on 22 pages, Robert Kirkman tells a short story, or sometimes things seem to be mundane, but then they add up. Like to the scene when Abraham starts to break down and cries, he tells Rick the whole story, and both share that they have done things that they are not proud of, and they are horrified of how little where it does affect them, but how easy it is to kill, how easy it is to destroy, and that plays that takes a toll on their mind. And that's the beauty of this. And after such a beautiful, like, you can see before we get to this point, like they go into adventure, they have character moments, sometimes they shoot, sometimes they fight, sometimes you don't know what's gonna happen, and that's the beauty. It's a real adventure. Like in the TV show, that's a different beast, but as in the TV show and in the comic, every time you wonder what is going to happen, and how are they gonna get out of this situation, and that's truly like beautiful. Or here they go back to the old city to get to the weapon stash, and then they find what's his name, Morgan, and then they find Morgan, and then we will find out about his son, and this is beautifully drawn. And also here in this series, you can also sense that every time Robert Kirkman writes something beautiful or gets to his peak point, like not everything is on its peak. Sometimes the issue is not that cool, but when the issue is cool, the drawing of CharlieAdlard is also elevated. Like both are induced with a higher spirit, and it's really cool. And so they get the guns, they get Morgan, everything went well so far, and they make it to the stash. Really beautiful panels, and we have always the element of drama and then action, and I love it. Like it's really cool. And sometimes just the simple points, like they are it's night, and they rest, and they try to close an eye, but nobody can sleep. And yeah, and then they're writing back or drawing back, and something happen, and you don't know what's going to happen, and then boom, like not the prettiest panel, but pretty cool. Like they are hitting a huge hurt, and then Abraham screams, drive faster. And while I was hitting this point, I didn't know what was coming. I was really into the story. I didn't want it to end. And that's a great, like, how do I say? If you don't want something to end and you want to stay with the experience, it must be great. And I get this every time. Like I start TheWalkingDead, and I read an issue, and then I think, okay, it's not that great, it's okay, it's not that great. And then there will always come the point where something great will happen, where something cool will happen, where things change. Like these people go through stuff, and you're excited, and just the duration and the time we spent with these people makes them real, and the experiences. Like, again, it's not all fantastic. It's all in the realm of possibility, and the way these characters act is very human, like you and like you and I would maybe act, and that makes it so grounded, and that gives it, like in the first Lord of the Rings or the only Lord of the Rings trilogy, things have high stakes. A hero is a hero, but they also can fail, or also they no doubt, or also they might die, and that makes it all so cool. And here they try to run through this herd. I don't want to spoil too much, but really badass action, and the way this is built, like beautifully. They run away, then the zombies follow them, then they run some more, and after this will come a very cool scene. I didn't see this coming. I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, I had a blast reading this, and as you can see, I have, like, this is The Walking Dead book 5. I got this very cheap on eBay for just a few euros. It's in a pretty fine condition, but I don't know, somebody didn't want it, and I have some missing. I'm just piecing it together. I just read what I could get my hands on, but I'm thinking to selling off this German issues and get myself the original American issues or English issues, and then maybe even some back paper issues. So sorry for rambling on for 17 minutes, but The Walking Dead is amazing. It's genius. I hope I could share some of my enthusiasm with you. Just read it, have a blast. It's maybe it's for you. Not everything I recommend is for you. See if you resonate with it. If you don't resonate with it, just forget about it. Like, just because I say, oh, I like Greg Capullo, you might read something from Robert Kirkman, CharlieAdlard, and it doesn't resonate with you. You might think, oh, this is crap. I don't care about the characters. I don't care about the art. I don't care about the story. And that is fine, because everybody's different. So do you, and we'll see us in the next video. In the next video, I guess I will draw a comic page, and share what was sent to me from viewers and also comic artists, and we'll see us. See ya.